On this week's show, Ducktales Remastered, Infinity Concept Art, and how to improve the weekly top 5. All this and more in episode 78 of the Inside Infinity podcast.
What's up, guys? This is John Vignacchi, executive producer on Disney Infinity, and you are listening to Inside Infinity, the first official Disney Infinity podcast on the net.
Inside Infinity is brought to you with support from Evilos Customs. EvilosCustoms.com is your number one place for custom Disney Infinity figures. His latest additions include a custom Crystal Mickey and Gray Hulk. Head on over to Evilos.com to find out more. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 78 of the Inside Infinity podcast, recorded on March 2nd, 2015. I am one of your two hosts, Will Kelly. I'm the one that butchered that intro, and joining me tonight is Jason Haynes. I saw you laughing at me, Jason. It's a good cheerleading effort you got going on. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Good. That's... what a great start.
Oh, that was a struggle. I don't know what happened to me. I need to do my pre-podcast tongue exercises that you can do to get things warmed up. But you know what? It is what it is. So I'd like to welcome everyone to this week's show. We have a great show ahead of everyone. Before we get things started, just want to mention the Disney Infinity Fans Forum. That's DisneyInfinityFans.com. Friends of the show, they are partnering with the Inside Infinity podcast. So if you like Disney Infinity and you like a healthy Disney Infinity community, head over to DisneyInfinityFans.com. They're the number one forum on the internet for Disney Infinity. That'd like to get things started. Welcome everyone in the chat. If you'd like to join Jason and I each and every Monday evening, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 2 p.m. Melbourne time, Jason? It's something like that, right? We got some Australian listeners. I need to make sure that we're plugging your time as well. You can do that. Just head over to twitch.tv/Disney Infinity TV. You can chat with us there. We have a great group. We have quite a few people. I'd like to welcome everyone to this week's show. I see the Papa Echo is in there. Wildlife 222 is back with us again this week. We got Matt88, Grinning Ezra, good seeing you. Disc Primitive 2319. I'd like to welcome everyone in the chat. It's great seeing you each and every week. You help us put on the show live, and for that we thank you. And it's just fun having some conversation with everyone. Jason, we got quite a bit of good feedback on the new the way we transitioned the show last week and the kind of the new way we're doing things. So I don't know. What do you think? We should keep doing it that way, huh?
Yeah, why not? I guess if they like it, then I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, so we'd like to thank everyone for giving us the positive feedback. It sounds like, for the most part, everyone enjoyed the split-up show, having the news show at the beginning and then the round table. We're going to be having a round table coming up about how to improve the weekly top 5 and community engagement on those top 5 competitions. So be on the lookout for that. But before we get to that, Jason, let's go ahead and start with the news of the week. Again, it was a pretty light news week, but it's a good week nonetheless. So first off, for anyone who's listened to this show for any extended period of time, they're going to know something special about us, Jason. And that special thing is that we're not only a bunch of crazy multinational people, we also have an unofficial theme song that we've had many YouTube videos taken down because we sing it a lot on the show. And what is that unofficial theme song?
Woohoo.
I like it. You can speak it. Life is like a hurricane. You just can't sing it because that's when YouTube doesn't like you.
That's it. Woohoo. That's...
It's now going to be our chant. It's going to be our unofficial battle cry. So Jason is referring to none other than Ducktales. Jason, why are we talking about Ducktales on a Disney Infinity podcast?
I don't know. It's a good point.
You don't know. Okay. Well, there's some big Disney news, right? So Disney Infinity is all about Disney, and we got this bit of news last week. In 2017, a new Ducktales TV show is coming on the scene, coming into Disney XD. And it's the award-winning series from the 80s and early 90s, treasured by our generation. That'd be Jason and I's generation. And basically, it looks like we're getting a new a new DuckTales cartoon. And 2017, Jason, what? That's going to be, was that Disney Infinity 4? Right? No.
Yeah.
No, 5. Ish.
Gee.
That's if we continue on this yearly thing.
Maybe that's the point. Maybe they're going to film the entire thing in Disney Infinity toy boxes.
Look at you. I like
Yes,
it. I like it. We don't grasp at straws on this show. Patrick said we don't need a reason to talk about DuckTales. I agree. So Jason, could this be the opportunity for Disney to finally have that double-edged sword of putting their weight fully behind a new Disney property? Well, I guess it's not really new, and combining that with the power of Disney Infinity could I don't know. I just wanted to bring this up because you like to talk about how Disney missed the boat on Frozen and how they missed the boat on Oscar-winning Big Hero 6. And DuckTales is hugely popular by people of our generation, as the article stated. Do you think we could see like some big Disney Infinity presence of DuckTales, like playset style, come 2017?
I could think of nothing better. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm just remembering I had the thought the other day. We still don't know what, I mean, you know, we guessing that Star Wars is going to be 3.0, but the big question is, what's the tentpole release post 3.0?
Right.
And I got to tell you, how cool would a Disney afternoon, like, you know, version of Disney Infinity be the DuckTales and all those classic cartoons would just be an amazing series, wouldn't it? And get like a DuckTales playset would just be incredible.
So much fun. So Romulus is bringing up gargoyles. Lincoln Hayes is bringing up Rescue Rangers. Yeah, the list is just long on what we could have as far as Disney afternoons. Tailspin.
They're all that. Gummy bears.
And the great thing
that's to a lesser extent.
Yeah, that was slightly before, right?
I like gummy bears. It's all right.
You do. So the great thing about these cartoons is that they are serialized, right? I mean, they were new stories each and every week. So it could be a completely original story. And for each one of these, if we got some Disney Afternoon play sets, but it would just be amazing having those characters. And could you imagine having the Tailspin airplane in the game? Like,
it's a no-brainer. Why isn't it in there already? We don't like, we had the biplane of Toy Story 3, which everyone loves. The nothing like that. So let's fingers crossed hard.
Yeah. Yep.
Super exciting though. I think they'll, personally, I'm wary. I fear they're going to stuff DuckTales up by making it heavily CG. I'd prefer to see, if they're going to redo DuckTales, just classic animation.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Well, I mean, that has not been the trend for Disney Infinity, so I doubt that's gonna. I mean, they have to infinify it a little bit.
Well, that's fine. Infinity. I'm talking about the actual remake cartoon.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Well,
3D in Infinity is cool. That's workable.
Yeah, and someone may know better than me. I'm gonna bring up the Oh My Disney. It's a Disney blog. It's what I just brought up a minute ago. I don't know if this is new art here, showing the boys and Uncle Scrooge there and Launchpad in the background. If it is new, then I would say that's a pretty good indication that it is going to keep that more traditional style of the show.
I'm a big fan of unique art, and I would love them to sort of try and replicate the 80s look, even go a little bit further, maybe even make it look a bit more like the comics type thing, but rather than the cheap generic, you know, what I call low resolution CG. I just hope they don't get it. But ultimately, story wins out. As long as the DuckTales feel and story's there, it'll win ultimately. But I'm just saying, why? It's a different topic.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get too passionate about it.
Full of gunk in the chat saying Jason wants it all and he wants it right now in all caps. It's true. You are so passionate. I love it. All right, well, let's get to the only other real Disney Infinity related news item of the week. And it's kind of funny. This caught traction again. This is something, Jason, I went back and looked and I could not find the episode, but I'm thinking that we discussed this artwork and the teens or 20s of the show a long time ago. I mean, over a year ago. So there was some new concept art on one of the Disney Infinity artist personal blogs. So his name is Sam Neilson, and I'm going to bring up his personal blog right now. And he's a concept artist, illustrator, and animation faculty at Brigham Young University. He also does concept work for Disney Infinity and does artwork for the game. The first thing I want to show off, an article that Polygon. So this is a pretty big video game news outlet, and they picked up on this piece, which is kind of a separate piece of coming out of the Disney Infinity community this week. And this is talking about the fact that there was going to be a Toy Story game in space after the Toy Story 3 video game. So here it says Avalanche Software is working on a Toy Story game set in space with all the beloved characters working at Buzz Lightyear's Star Command. This talks a little bit about some of that concept art, bringing back his blog. So here we got some of the pictures here of that Disney Infinity, this Toy Story in space actual video game, and you can see there's lots of starships that kind of have that Buzz Lightyear aesthetic.
Particularly that one, the one you just went past, that looks sensational.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks straight out of a it looks like something that...
It's the box. It's based on the box that he came in, isn't it?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because bringing it back to the Polygon article here, regarding the spaceships, Neilson says, we were trying to come up with a design that felt like a more massive starship version of Buzz's spaceship box from the movies. So yeah. Good eye there, Jason. That's exactly what that looks like. Here's bringing up some bridge artwork with the characters. And you can see, I mean, it looks like it had a very, very big space emphasis with the different spaceships. There's the Zerg spaceship there. And but it's interesting because we got Disney Infinity instead of this Space Ranger video game. And but what we did get last time for 1.0 was the Toy Story in Space game. I wonder how much of, the concept art, there's not too much here that really reminds me too much of that playset. Maybe this one a little bit, just with the aesthetics and the characters. All of those characters were in the Toy Story in Space playset, but we didn't really get any of the ships. I could see, though, that some of the ship architecture mimics a little bit of the stations that were in the Toy Story in Space playset. But yeah, so it's just kind of cool. You can't help but think that some of what this game was going to be made it into not only Disney Infinity. In fact, we can pretty much guarantee that, but also the Toy Story in Space playset. What do you think, Jason?
Well, can I just discuss the bigger story here at hand? I've just confirmed by IMDb that Willow is a Lucasfilm project, which means Willow coming to Disney Infinity based on that artwork that we just saw at the top of the screen there.
Okay, so...
And that is infinitely more interesting to me. Look at that.
All right, do you think we're going to get this? This is Jason calling it now. We're getting a Willow playset in the future version.
I don't know if we're going to get this, but I want that. That is the perfect Warwick Davis. Bring me that now. And then I also want the Ewok version, obviously, famously, that he played Wicket. That is amazing. And same as that guy up the top there, who I absolutely love from the original Masters of the Universe film. I believe he was in that, but that is fantastic.
This character?
Yeah, that's from Willow. But
yeah.
A Willow playset is all sorts of cool. Just saying.
Well, I think we need to shelve that, but that's a great conversation for a
It is. I had to look it up, and it just said production company was MGM Lucasfilm. They were production co's there on that, and it was written by George Lucas. So I can only assume that Disney can take that and use it.
Lincoln Hayes is saying that would be amazing.
If you have not seen the film, watch it.
I haven't seen it in ages. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at that.
Such a cool film.
So, bringing it back to Disney Infinity, Jason, one cool thing is that although we discussed some of Sam's artwork or concept art for 1.0, I'm going to bring
And
that.
was that the pirate boats? Was it
Yep, that
that
was
we were
some of
talking
it.
about?
Yep, oops.
I remember. I think I remember seeing some artwork, early artwork of the rowboats,
Yeah, the rowboats, that
which was
was.
one of my favorite parts of 1.0.
Yeah, and then I mean, there's lots here. We lots of cars. I know you've seen this piece before, Jason. I think just in more concept art for the game when they were pitching it to John Lasseter. So here's 1.0 assets, and you can see that he reposted these items here specifically. Here's the Omnibots. Here's this one's a sweet one, Sorcerer Mickey. I don't remember seeing these last year, but maybe they were there. Look at these different variations of Mickey Mouse here. Like
I
think
love this stuff. They need to collate this stuff into a book. I want to
they do.
see this. Like, it's too cool.
Well, and video game art books are extremely commonplace, but there's just so much gold here uh, that it's just too much to turn down. But let's bring it back to some of the newer stuff, talking about 2.0. So here we're looking at the Hulk figure, and here's some never before seen Hulk concept art. So this is Grayskull without the texture mapping on there. You can see even his face looks different. Like, that doesn't even look, I mean, that looks like Hulk, but that looks like I don't know, a pretty one-dimensional version of him.
I like the face though.
Yeah, the face is cool. What do you think of this face? I don't like that face. Do you like it? Feel free to disagree.
No, I don't like I don't know.
It's too much like Batman the Animated Series with that square jaw.
I don't mind the stance, but
Yeah, the stance is cool.
the one on the left, not the one on the right.
These are yeah. Then bring this one. This one's sweet. Gives you kind of an idea of what some other platforms could have been, like this I don't know, steel plate that he's bending, or whatever this piece is here they're standing on. Has some chest hair going on there. Then this one.
Okay, that one's a little too far. That one could go in the bin.
That looks almost like Igor. Like,
Yes,
Um,
totally.
I don't know. I just love this concept art, Jason, not only because it's cool to see, what the different ideas were, but just watching, like, seeing how it kind of takes shape. So here's different versions of Mickey's face. Here's kind of a square Mickey, kind of like that last Hulk we just brought up. And then you see he gets a little more rounded here with exaggerated features. This looks kind of a little more traditional. This one reminds me very much of the Mickey we ended up getting. So does this one, just different stances. So I just love watching, kind of getting a glimpse of the process and how they
And because it's such a unique process, Disney Infinity, because it's the toyification.
right.
It's not just an exact replica. There's a definite process in making it look toy-like, which I find fascinating
Mm-hmm.
because it's all about discussing the character and recognizing what the key features of that particular character is. And I think that's fascinating, particularly when you put, I think Buzz Lightyear is one of the most striking ones, when you put the original Buzz Lightyear design next to the Infinity figure. You don't notice it when you're just looking at the Infinity figure. You just look, that's great. But when you see them side by side, you just see how different the art style is, and yet it's still 100% accurate to the character, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. They do such a good job just embodying those characters while making it kind of match this. I mean, there's not a single character that does not fit in with the rest of the characters. They all look like they are part of the same thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But really grabbing hold of those pieces that make them.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Jason, another slow news week. That's all we have to talk about as far as Disney Infinity related news. Make sure you check out Sam's blog. I will post it in the show notes and in the comments in YouTube. And you can also find that Polygon article there, as well as the article to DuckTales Remastered. So just check the podcast notes for that. I'd like to welcome or thank everyone for joining us in the news this week. Hopefully the news picks up. Jason and I, we still are having bets on the calendar that we are expecting to see a 3.0 announcement come next month. So I have a feeling this lull is not going to be that too long of a thing to get through. Doesn't mean
I can't wait to start doing our rewind trailers.
I know,
just
right?
Can't wait. That's
People
going to be so fun.
people love that, and you and I, we just have a blast, right? Picking out all the literally frame by frame, speculating. This year we might have to come up with like a bingo card and see how right we are. Well, thanks everyone for joining the chat. Again, you can join us in the chat each and every Monday evening, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Just head over to twitch.tv/Disney Infinity TV. Make sure you head on over to our Facebook page. There's been lots of great conversation. I want to give a special shout out to Jay, who posted a really great bit of discussion talking about the Disney Infinity weekly toy box challenges and whether or not that he thinks that it is helping or hurting the DI content. It sparked great discussion. It even called out Pirate Steve and Lauren, aka Mighty Jidus. I think we're going to have them on a future roundtable just based on Jay's conversation. So thank you, Jay, for that. Make sure you join the conversation at our Facebook page, and it's just facebook.com/groups/Disney Infinity TV. It's really been picking up over there, and we love seeing the conversation. We love talking about these shows each and every week on there. You can subscribe to us, youtube.com/Disney Infinity TV, and also check us out on iTunes. Just search Inside Infinity for the podcast. We'd like the feedback. If you don't mind, leave us a rating there. So with that, Jason, I think we are going to call it a night. Thanks everyone for joining us. If you are watching live, stay tuned for the roundtable coming up in just a few moments. If we don't talk to you until next time, we hope your week is filled with infinite